Righto guys, in this video, we're going to be putting a roof rack on. Let's go. I've got neighbours doing some work in their yard, so hopefully they turn their tools off for a little bit. We've got our backbones, sort of generic looking backbones. They are what's going to mount to these brackets. There's a front and a rear, depending on the spacing of the holes for the mounts on the top of the cab. Some couple of hand tools. We've got a whole sort of jumble of this kind of jargon. These rubber stops, they've given me an odd number, so I mean, hooray, wicked. We've got some shorter bolts, we've got the longer bolts, not too sure where these four go. The instructions is that no front and back, but for 850 bucks, you know, it's to be expected. They've given me a tube of what I'm going to call silicon or Sikaflex, so we'll definitely use that. So for the purpose of this video being easy with the neighbours, I'm just going to do a voiceover. Hopefully it doesn't turn out janky. Don't worry about the fridge slide and that. I'm still doing a few bits and pieces that'll come at a later video, but for now let's go get this on the roof. Alright, so with the neighbours doing their work out in their yard, I figured doing a voiceover would probably be a little bit easier rather than listening to them mowing, leaf blowing, whippersnipping, laughing, having just a good time. But anyway, as you can see here, I'm just going to put down some tape where I think the bolt holes on the top of the cab are going to be. There's nothing really to that, you're just throwing down a little bit of tape. Gives you somewhere to sort of mark your measurements on where you're going to have to cut. So this rooftop platform that I have is from a company called DMS Engineering. I found them on Google, and it came with the backbone, the mounting hardware, and the rooftop platform, which was already assembled for $849 with free shipping. I could have gone with a Yakima one or a Rhino rack, however they were around double the price. So I figured for the purpose of showing you guys that not always spending top dollar for gear, you can get away with it shopping around, getting things on the cheap a little bit. What I did was I used the Rhino rack instructions. You can find the PDF file on Google on your phone. It's a lot more easier to follow. They are vehicle specific as well, so being able to figure that part out by looking at that instruction was a hell of a lot easier than trying to guess and figure out where things were going to go, where I had to cut, where my bolt holes were. So I do recommend that if you are going to do this yourself and use the same platform, just jump on the Google, use the Rhino rack one. It's vehicle specific and it's a lot more easier to read and get through. So I've just measured the back and now I've measured the front. The rear one, there was a sort of connecting piece between the rear seal and the roof seal, or gutter seal, however you want to say or word it. The front one, I needed to keep a front section of that sort of seal runner and I needed to cut it to separate the middle section to be able to reveal the mounting bolts on the top of the cab. And here, according to the Rhino Rack instructions, they recommend using a chisel to get your mark. I didn't want to go bringing the hammer out. I was, to be honest, pretty confronted with this kind of task. Being a new car, being my first ever new car, I didn't want to go scratching the paint, so I've was being very careful there. Now, this rail is covered by, it's sort of like an aluminium rail that's covered in rubber and like a black plastic coating, so using the chisel I was able to get my mark, get my line. The further on I went with it, it actually worked out to be a bit easier by lifting it up, marking your line, using your chisel, and sort of keeping the point secure and sort of wiggling it back and forth would snap the metal inside. And then it was just a matter of pulling it out, pulling some tension on the underside, using the knife, slicing the rubber, and it would make a nice clean cut. And here I've pulled out the side cutters. This was a bit of a process. They just didn't cut through the metal. So this is before I figured out wiggling it back and forth, increasing that cut and bend back and forth. It would snap it. And then I struggled with this for about 20 minutes before I was like, you know what, let's wiggle it around. And what do you know, it broke. I was feeling pretty happy about myself then. Front ones were a little more challenging because you couldn't really pop out the seal at the front. You had to sort of get in there, kind of lift an edge and try sort of cut it while it's still being on the car. It was a bit of a challenge, but we got there in the end, obviously. One thing I would recommend if you are going to do it yourself, probably put down some towels on your roof. Luckily for me, I did not scratch the front of my the top of my car, so I was very lucky there. But in hindsight, now looking back on the footage, put down a towel, save your paint, save your car, especially if it's new. Just look after it. And there we have the front two bolt holes revealed underneath the double-sided tape. Just using my chisel, trying to remove the double-sided tape from the underside. I'm pretty sure it's just panel bond. It's like a high-grade sort of thick, hard silicone, so I'm going to call it panel bond. But I'm just trying to remove this double-sided tape so I can see the holes where they've panel bonded over. Just using a small drill bit, drilling a little bit of a pilot hole, so then I can grab the Stanley knife and take the center of that out. Seemed to help. Just gave me somewhere sort of void. Got the bracket with the rubber O-ring. The instructions didn't explain where to put the said rubber O-ring, so I put a fair bit of silicone around each hole and put them rubber seals around the bolts. you have a look at different brands like Rhino Rack, it actually comes with a sort of square adhesive with a hole in the middle to go over that whole section. So I tried to mimic that as best I could with the silicone. Also going through and putting silicone in around the rail runners to seal it all off as well towards the end. So I've got the tray down there. I've got my rail runners, or whatever you want to call them, to go into the rail for the bolt to screw into, to then attach the backbone to the platform. The instructions are, yeah, a bit how you're going, but like I've mentioned in the video, if you need to, just use the Rhino Rack video, or instructions, they're around about the same anyway. I'm going to put you on a time lapse, and we'll get this on. Speed lap. I don't know what this numpty's on about. I actually put the rails on the wrong way around, so I'm all doing all this twice. And it was wrong the first time, so what you're seeing now is the right way. I've got the towels on the roof, especially working by myself, it was a hell of a lot easier. I'm putting that one in there. Alright. This is gonna suck. Okay, this is. Who votes I cheat? That's going to conclude this video. Little bit of a interesting one, having the neighbours in their yard doing a fair bit of work while I was trying to film and speak in the video. That was a little bit of a challenge, but something new. It's a new house. It's what we're going to have to do in the future. So I don't know. We'll see how we go. Also, you might have seen me getting around with the new Project Nugget shirts. I do have shirts and jumpers and stickers on the website. I did make a quick little store. Whether you guys would like to buy something to help support me, support the car, or anything like that, really, it's totally obligation free. It's completely up to you. There's no pressure. You don't have to. I want to stress that. And I really only make a couple of bucks off a shirt. I think it's like $2 off a shirt, and then $3 off a jumper, because I brought the prices right down to make it sort of fair. But if you would like to head over, grab one, I would greatly appreciate it. In the next video, I don't really know what we're going to be doing. Not 100% sure. I have to go back to work. I've been sick the last sort of 2 weeks with tonsillitis, so I've only just sort of started to come good. I haven't got a sniffly nose today, which is the first day in nearly 3 weeks. So that's good. But yeah, not too sure. Just remember to, with this thing, it literally only costed me $849 for this roof rack. Yes, it's not a sort of Yakima or Rhino rack, roof rack. However, it's done the job. It's build quality of it, sturdy, it's nice and strong. I'm pretty happy with it. The instructions though were a bit of a disappointment. I mean, because they didn't make sense at all. So I don't know, do what you will with that. Like I said in the voiceover, jump on and use Rhino Rack's instructions. They're just a lot more clearer, and well, I mean, they've been making them for bloody years, so they're a lot more refined. These channels, they are skinny channels, so they might take the new Rhino Rack sort of system. I'm not too sure. I will get a what do you call it, fishing rod holder eventually. Put them onto here and we'll see how that works out. But yeah, until then, I'm gonna get this video inside, edited, uploaded, and next video I'll give you a quick rundown of my 12 volt that I've got going on in the back. Just a little bit of a play around there, but I shall give you a bit of a look in there in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Okay, wait, before you go, Future Lucas from a few days in front of this video. Quick last review of the rack. Wind noise is there. Not gonna lie to you, there is some wind noise. It's not that hectic though. I can deal with it. But the music on, you can't really hear it. As soon as you turn the music off, you can. So, I'm pretty happy with it. It's sturdy, nice and strong. These bolts, I don't like how they sit out, but because it's a generic kit as well, you've got no gap here, whereas you come to the back and you've got like a finger width of gap there. But honestly, for a Chinese made, I think it's Chinese because the language of all the packaging looked Chinese. For a Chinese made roof rack that was generic and put together, it's put together quite solidly. Do I regret the purchase? No, not at all. I'm pretty happy with it. Only time will tell once I start putting things on the top whether other brands sort of mounting hardware is going to work with it. I will see how we go. I've got to go away for work, but I am also planning on putting a solar panel up on the roof because, just a quick little preview, I've got a 200 watt King's foldable solar panel in the back. I've put the fridge in. None of it's mounted down, by the way, like except for the fridge slide and the bat block. I will do a review on the bat block as well. At the moment I've had no issues with it. 200 watt blanket panel is putting in 14.2 amps at the moment through a 25 amp DC-DC charger into my 100 amp hour lithium battery. So pretty simple setup. The only problem is every time I want to recharge the battery, I'm going to need to pull out the foldable panel. And I will explain that later when I go through this a little bit more. But for now, the roof rack is all done. It's complete. It's on. It's sturdy. It's strong. Pretty happy with it. So that's my final review on the DMS Engineering roof platform for a Gen 3 Isuzu D-Max. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.